In this episode of Country Boy Gas Garage, we're back on the Nova. Let's go. That's right, guys. We're back working on the Nova. Now, I know we just did a video on it a couple weeks ago, and at this point, we're supposed to be doing the installation in the garage, and I'm halfway through that video, but, well, something popped up. We were invited to put the Nova in a small little car show. A friend of mine, she works for the Boy Scouts, and they're having a small derby race, and they wanted to have some cool cars and hot rods in the parking lot for the kids to check out, so we're going to go ahead and do that this Saturday. I needed to go ahead and get that sending unit that we just installed working properly. And also, this passenger window keeps coming off the track. I think there's something broken in there. So we're going to go ahead and work on getting that sending unit working properly. And we're also going to get the window back on the track if we can. So we'll go ahead and get this all cleaned up, tuned up, and get it ready for Saturday when we take it to a little car show for the kids. So let's go. Well, there's that brand new gas tank from Classic Industries we installed in that last video, but the sending unit doesn't seem to be working properly, so either it's jammed up inside or something, or the wiring got crushed when I installed it. But we're going to go ahead and drop that. I'm going to check the wiring connections, and if not, I'll pull that sending unit back out and make sure, nothing's binding up in there, and we'll try to get that working right. Alright, I went ahead and dropped the fuel tank, not all the way, it's still all connected with the fuel lines and stuff, but just lowered it down, and as soon as I looked up here I could see that this wire going to the fuel gauge is disconnected, so I'm sure that's what it is. So I'm going to reconnect that and check the fuel gauge and see what it's telling me. Alright, let's turn on the key and see where we register. We got a couple gallons in there, so it should read maybe just above E. Well, it's showing about empty. There's a couple gallons in there, so I may have to add some fuel to get a reading there. But at least it's not pegged all the way full, where we knew it was wrong. Alright, now let's fix this window. It keeps falling off the track and down into the door, and I know there's a piece, the bottom rail of the window, that connects to some rollers on a track. Has a couple spot welds that have come undone. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this door panel off so we can access the window and try to either fix that piece, or what I've been doing is just getting it back on track and rolling it up. But with the weather being nice, I want to be able to roll that down. So we'll get in there and see if we can't fix it. I know I started pricing a new replacement part for it, and they don't reproduce it at Classic Industries or anywhere that I could find. I did find a used one on eBay, I think it was, for $100 just for a little bracket. I mean, I used to have extra doors and parts for the Nova, and I've sold all those extra parts. Now I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt because I need that little bracket. So we might be able to pull this one out and either weld it or JB weld it or make it work for us some more. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that door panel off and see what we can do. Alright, got the door panel off, and I could already see what the problem is here. Alright, so here's the window, and on the bottom of the window is this metal channel that is usually also affixed to this piece of metal, which is like a rail, and it lets these wheels ride inside there, and as you roll up and down the window, the wheels roll through this track, lifting the window up. But the bottom of the window, this piece of metal and this rail piece of metal have come disconnected from each other. They're usually tack welded together. I can't find this piece repopped or for sale anywhere on the internet. I did find it used on eBay for $100, and I just can't spend that. So we're going to go ahead and do what we can to try to affix this piece back to the bottom of the window so then we could get it back on track. So I'm going to pull this out a little bit and clean it up and see what we could do. Okay, got the window out, and this is what I'm talking about. This little rail is supposed to be tack welded to the bottom right here. I can't really get this piece off the glass without compromising it too much. I don't even have the garage wired to do any welding as it is, so what I think I'm going to do is just try to wire wheel clean these surfaces because they're pretty rusty. Get those cleaned up as good as I can, and then I'm going to try to just JB weld this on there. I know it's not the best way of doing it, but I think it'll be the easiest method, and as long as I'm careful with it, it should stay on there at least for this season, or until I find a replacement. So I had to take the quarter glass and everything to get that window out of there, but we'll go ahead and clean those parts up, JB weld them together, and start reinstalling this and seeing how well it worked. All right, I got it JB welded and clamped together there. It's going to take some time to set up and cure, and then we'll get that window all cleaned up and reinstalled. Well, good morning. It's the next day, and that JB weld is fully cured and dried, so let's go take a look at it. All right, there it is. I already pulled the clamps off, and that JB weld is fully dried and cured. This rail is fixed on there pretty good, so nothing left to do now except for reinstall this in the door. Let's go. All right, got it all fixed and reinstalled. It rolls down and back up, no problems. I just got to clean up all this glass now and pick up my tools. Then we'll give the whole car a wash and cleaned up and get it ready for the show tomorrow. All right, getting her all cleaned up, and I can't believe how much rust has popped out over the years. You know, I originally bought this car 32 years ago, 1991, for $200. I was 16 and been driving it for 32 years. The thing had no rust when I bought it, but over the years, just more and more. The plan is to repair all this rust damage at some point. I have to collect all the sheet metal and tear this thing all apart, but that's going to be down the road a bit. We've got so many projects going on here. You know, this car was originally white and a 6-cylinder car, and then in high school I drove it, and then after high school I swapped out the motor for V8 and put some wheels on it, and a buddy of mine painted it. But over the years it's mostly just been stored outside, and the rust is just coming through. You know, it's still got pretty good rockers, but the floors are gone. The trunk pan is really bad. Both front fenders need patches down here, and the rear quarters need to be replaced. Actually, on the driver's side, the rear quarter needs to be replaced, and as well as the inner and outer wheel well, because this has been damaged before I bought it. That's why I got it so cheap, and a lot of this is Bondo I did when I was like 16. So, you know, down the road we'll get all the sheet metal we need, and once we get the garage operating, we'll be able to tear this thing apart and start replacing all that stuff. But for now, she's just a ratty muscle car and still gets lots of attention. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep driving it like this until that day comes, though. Something else I almost forgot to show you. I went and put about $50 in gas in it, and we've got a working fuel gauge. You know, we got about 2/3 of a tank there, so that's working. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and keep cleaning her up. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the show. Well, somebody brought their old circle track. Pretty cool.
Do you want me to? Yeah. We'll be able to track him anywhere he goes.
Now lane change, runner second run. What a casualty. Three, two, one. Two, one. 23, 24, 3, 2, 1. It's a close one. 3, 2, 1. This is the first round. 3, 2, 1. Two, one. One. 2, 1. Two, one. Two, one. Two, one. Three, two, one.
Round 2. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, guys, that's it. Well, there wasn't much of a car show. Nobody really showed up. There's just me and that Camaro. But, you know, the kids are having fun. You know, they're building their little race cars and racing them. Those are future hot rodders right there. Well, I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching. And be sure you're subscribed to the channel. And until next time, peace.